Hello and welcome to Brief Tune. In a world with many cartoons, it is no surprise that some are extremely popular and garner a huge audience that keeps their viewership and legacy alive throughout the years. However, some cartoons are somehow forgotten because, well, they're not as popular, were made a long time ago, or just got canceled midway for various reasons. But we cannot help but yearn for them. Without any further yapping, let's go ahead and start with Men in Black the series. Now, most of us know the legendary Men in Black, and I think that we can all agree that J&K's humor adds a special flavor to the mysteries. The animated series, which aired from 1997 to 2001, consisted of 53 episodes across 5 seasons. It continued the adventures of Agents J and K as they dealt with extraterrestrial threats and maintained secrecy about alien life. Of course, choosing the best episode of Men in Black the series is absolutely subjective. However, one standout episode is The Long Goodbye. J and K head to a beach to confront a Skruldian alien, and Jay accidentally defeats it. Then, the two respond to a distress signal at a restaurant where an alien controlling a customer explains he choked on a prawn. Later on, at a park, Jay encounters another Skruldian and more aliens attack, sensing his DNA. Kay freezes them and helps him, and then a giant Skruldian appears with an army. The two call with a plan, and Kay defeats the aliens by sneezing on them. Then Jay is let off the hook, but now Kay is targeted instead. This latter gives Jay the car keys before leaving, and the real Kay appears, revealing the alien from the restaurant had been posing as him. The fake Kay is then destroyed, and the mission ends. The series, unfortunately, was ultimately canceled, even though it was well received during its run. While there have been various attempts to revive the franchise in other forms, such as movies and animated series, the original animated series itself was not renewed. Alright, now off to another investigator and the Totally Spies colleague, if you may. The animated series Martin Mystery premiered in 2003. It was based on the Italian comic book, and the show ran for 3 seasons with a total of 66 episodes, concluding in 2006. This is about a 16-year-old Martin, Diana, and Java who solve mysteries involving ghosts, curses, and so on. Speaking of Diana, you probably wonder why Diana and Martin's relationship is weird. Well, the animation was based on a comic in which they are actually lovers. For this one, we are choosing the best voted episode of the show, Rise of the Secret Society, in which Martin is chosen to join a secret society that offers him powers like telekinesis and sports cars. However, before he can become a member, he must pass an entrance test that requires him to enter a maze-like dimension. But Diana tries to prevent Martin from doing so, primarily because she doesn't want him to date Jenny, who was impressed by his new luxuries. And because, I guess, she's kinda worried about him too. After many obstacles, they defeat the monster that's responsible for brainwashing the secret society members, and they go back to their daily lives. Despite its popularity and good ratings, this show struggled to maintain strong viewership, which sadly led to its cancellation. Now let's talk about another type of investigator. Fillmore was an animated series that ran for 2 seasons consisting of 26 episodes from 2002 to 2004. It followed the adventures of Cornelius Fillmore and his partner Ingrid III as they work as members of the safety patrol at X Middle School. While the show didn't last for long, it is absolutely celebrated for its clever writing that portrays the characters' growth from juvenile delinquents to responsible safety members, as well as the parodied crimes in each episode, such as sabotage, religious bigotry, bribery, counterfeiting, and abuse of diplomatic immunity. Oh, and even attempted murder, and that is represented in the finale, Field Trip of the Just, where the delinquent Eric Orban is tasked with looking after a school tarantula, Guildenstern. While Guildenstern is poisoned, Eric is the prime suspect, so he flees the school to prove his innocence. Meanwhile, Fillmore and Ingrid delve deeper into the case, and they discover that Eric is just pretending to be bad. Anyway, the case unfolds, and it turns out that Alexandria, another student, is the culprit and wants to get Eric's favor because she thought he hated animals. Now, this show was aimed at children, but it attracted a significantly older audience due to its parody of 1970s police dramas. This mismatch in target demographics led to fewer viewers within the intended age group, which overall affected its ratings and eventually led to its cancellation. Now let's talk a little bit about Royal Teenagers. The Emperor's New School was an animated series that aired from 2006 to 2008, consisting of 52 episodes across 2 seasons. It ran as a sequel to the 2000s film The Emperor's New Groove and follows Emperor Kuzco, who must graduate from Cuzco Academy to reclaim his throne as the Emperor of the Inca Empire after getting evicted from his palace. And as usual with the best episode, or at least the moment when Kuzco finally gets Melina, Yzma, disguised as Principal Amzi, declares the bankrupt school must be torn down, preventing Kuzco from graduating. Melina proposes a school musical to raise money, while Kuzco feels jealous when teen idol Dirk Brock arrives, threatening his starring role. Kuzco gets the role anyway and almost kisses Melina, but is interrupted by Dirk. Upset, he steals a potion from Yzma to sabotage him. But this prevents the students from raising money. Eventually, Kuzco convinces Dirk to take the antidote, leading to a battle that saves the school and results in Kuzco's first kiss with Melina. While this show had a dedicated fan base, it faced competition from other animated series in the same production company, which may or may not have affected its viewership. Not only that, but Eartha Kitt, a voice actress in the show, died, which ultimately contributed to its end. I know most of you believed their Chalk could turn alive because, well, I definitely did. ChalkZone was a cartoon that aired from 2002 to 2008, consisting of 40 episodes across 4 seasons. The show follows a young boy named Rudy Tabuti, who discovers a magical piece of chalk that allows him to draw portals into an alternate dimension called the ChalkZone. In this fantastical world, everything drawn with chalk and later erased comes to life. In our humble opinion, the best episode was If You Can't Beat 'Em, Eat 'Em, where Snap escapes a talking hamburger that is begging him to it, and while at it, he runs across a cooked chicken and angry vegetables that also want to be eaten. Just as they are about to attack Snap, the hamburger saves him. Snap finally realizes that there's only one way to stop an annoying, persistent burger. Eat it. This series went on hiatus and returned briefly for its final episode, hinting that Rudy is growing up and he will start going into ChalkZone less and less until not at all. The lack of consistent airing may have contributed to its fading popularity, which of course ultimately would lead to the cancellation. Alright, we can't talk about kids and new worlds without mentioning the life and times of Juniper Lee. Now, this was a cartoon that aired from 2005 to 2007, having 40 episodes across 3 seasons, and it follows 11-year-old Juniper Lee, the Taishuanzi, who protects the balance between the human and magical worlds. Set in Orchid Bay City, while dealing with typical preteen issues. In one of the best episodes, The Big Sleep, the Sandman puts everyone into a deep slumber. Initially, Juniper is excited about trying out for the school talent show, but she has to save them and navigate the dream realm where she confronts the Sandman and works to thwart his nefarious plot. Ultimately, she uses her magical abilities to defeat him, restoring peace and waking everyone up. Now, this show ended on a cliffhanger with one of Juniper's friends finding out about her powers. The show, however, was canceled due to low ratings and honestly a lack of interest and promotions from the production company. From men to teenage royals and investigators to kids with special powers to finally animals. Or should I say anthropomorphic? Hero 108 aired from 2010 to 2012 about a group of anthropomorphic animals with unique abilities. The Hero Team fight the villainous king who seeks to disrupt peace in their world in a world resembling ancient China. Now, unfortunately, this show was canceled primarily due to declining viewership and ratings. As with many animated series, factors such as changes in audience preferences, competition from other shows, and the network's scheduling decisions ultimately contributed to its cancellation. Now, we are still in with the anthropomorphic, and this time it is Catscratch. This aired from 2005 to 2007. The series consisted of a total of 20 episodes focusing on the adventures of 3 anthropomorphic cat brothers who inherit their owner's wealth. The best episode is considered to be My Bodyguards. Mr. Blick is scared of a mean alley cat named Pootsie and hires bodyguards for protection. However, they take their role too seriously, intervening in his daily life and his relationships. Ultimately, Blick learns to confront Pootsie himself. But in a wicked plot twist, Pootsie turns out to be the bodyguard's long-lost cat, so they just take him and leave. Similarly to the previous shows, this one was canceled without a public explanation. However, it is estimated to be due to the low viewership. It did get a short revival run before being canceled once again. Now, I don't want to lie and say that I watched this one, but it is anthropomorphic, so it's only fair that I include it. My Gym Partner's a Monkey is a cartoon that aired from 2005 to 2008 and consists of a total of 39 episodes across 4 seasons. This show follows the adventures of Adam Lion, a human who is mistakenly enrolled in a school for anthropomorphic animals, including his best friend Jake, a monkey. One of the best moments is the episode titled The Big Field Trip. Adam and his friends go on a field trip to the zoo, and Adam tries to fit in with his animal classmates, but ends up in a series of misunderstandings while lost in the woods. And somehow, Jake becomes the king of the chipmunks. Meanwhile, Adam gets kidnapped by bears, and Jake rescues him. Adam plays his piccolo to gather everyone back, and they leave the woods for a giant field, which concludes their adventure. Again, much like the previous cartoons, this series concluded due to low viewership without a proper conclusion to some story arcs. And that's gonna be it for today's video. If you want us to make another part for this video, go ahead and let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.